Alright, what's up guys? JR here. I'm sorry that I'm a bit late getting this recording in here, but I dropped a limit order in there, and literally before I could even open up the recording software, we were ticking off of our order. But yeah, basically this is going to be our live trade for the day, or the week essentially, and what we're doing is we're going long right here. We're still looking for a retest of this high. We had a big strong move up. Alright, so we just got that one filled. Sorry about that. I know it's a bit late. I may pause this halfway through and see if I can get another trade to kind of compensate for really missing the whole run up introduction and actual trading portion of this here trade. But so basically we were looking for a retest for this move up. We started moving up pretty strongly with this initial run up. We didn't get any setups that we liked. There's literally no pullbacks in here. Depends on the way that your chart looked. You may have had a higher low right here that you may have considered taking. It would have worked out. I didn't, and then we ended up going sideways. I didn't like going long right here because you're too congested and you don't really get a good setup. I didn't like going long right here because it's too close to the highs. But then when we ticked a few ticks higher, turned down with this big huge bearish bar, I figured that we had people trapped. So I liked going long right above this bar, but since we didn't technically have enough room before the highs, I decided to drop a limit order in there. Our entry was 95 and the highs were I think 96.25, so that gives us just enough, and sure enough it worked out. But I'm gonna see if I can get one more, so I'm just gonna pause it, see if I can come back and get one more to kind of compensate for the loss of recording of this trade right here. But we'll be right back. Alright, so I'm actually very tempted to re-enter right here because I just noticed that we have a bit of a spike in channel working higher, and let's say this is our new low. You get your first entry short, your second entry short right here, fails. We're also coming off the EMA and the possible trend line, so I'm tempted to go long right here. It's just that we're really close to these highs and I'm not quite feeling it. Usually I like to really feel it, so I think we're just going to wait and see what happens, but we'll be right back. Oh yeah, and one more thing to note is that if you measure this first leg up and then you go ahead and put it right here, we have a projected target of 2300 for our measured move, so we'll see if we make it up there, and we will see if this spike in channel is in fact correct. So just another piece to add, but we'll be right back. Okay, so we've got a huge bullish bar right here. I don't like going long right above that because that is the high of the day. I do think that we are going to continue going higher. I just need a better entry than that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a limit order back in here and see if I can get filled on that. I might not. This thing might just take off. I'm going to scoot it up one tick higher, but this thing might just take off. But I didn't like going long above this bar because that's a bad bar. And yeah, I've been noticing the past couple days my signal bars have been pretty bad. Yesterday I missed a lot of good trades because my signal bars were they were terrible, to say the least. They were terrible. I only had one trade that was marked in the chart review that actually had a decent signal bar, and the rest of them were absolutely terrible. I wasn't getting like breaks lower when I was supposed to be getting breaks lower. I was getting dojis where Mac had really bullish bars, and I just had bad signal bars that day. But I'm gonna pause this and see what happens, so we'll be right back. Yeah, it looks like we missed that trade, unfortunately. That kind of sucks. Okay. Alright, so this uptrend has been pretty wild so far. We haven't really had any chance to enter this that I was comfortable with. You might have considered entering right there, or not right there. That's a little bit too stacked up. It would have worked, but you might have considered entering right there. I didn't like that either, but hopefully we can get a second entry. Also, hopefully we're not too late to the party and it's not over, because we surpassed our measured move. We had a measured move of 2300 and we actually made it up to 2301.25. So that's about 1.25 higher than our initial anticipated measured move. But hopefully we can get some form of a correction, a pullback, so I can hop in this thing long again. Not again, but for the first time. We gotten long down here, and that's all that we've been able to get since then. This is all that we've had today. There was another long right here, but we missed that because the signal bar was terrible, and it just kind of went off without us. And I'm not really a fan of taking these mini pullbacks along the way, especially when you're that far away from the EMA. It's a bit risky, but this is looking like it might turn down right here, so hopefully we'll get a second entry and we'll be able to find something to kind of conclude this video on a good note. But yeah, we will be right back. Alright, so it's tempting to actually go long right here, but since we just came off this upper trend line and this uptrend has been pretty relentless, the only thing is these kinds of days actually scare me the most because I never know when it's going to flip. And I know you're supposed to essentially buy every pullback on a strong trend like this. It's just that I can't bring myself to just buy these things without like a decent second entry, failed second entry, or some pullback that like I'm actually comfortable with. But on days like today, you might not get that, and then you sit down like how I've been sitting down for hours with no trades. But that's the nature of the game, I guess. But we are gonna see. I'm not buying this because we just came off the upper end of the trend line, although I would not be surprised at all if we ended up overshooting it. But still, I'm just going to try and hold out. I've held out for quite some time now. I'm going to try and hold out and wait for a good setup and one that I'm actually comfortable with. And hopefully it'll be a winner. Hopefully this thing doesn't flip over now and just reverse on out of here and continue trading lower and turn into a range day. But this has been a strong trend up, a considerably strong trend. So we're only going to take longs, and we're only going to take longs in the right spot. And we're not going to get tempted into doing something prematurely. And we're going to be strong. So we'll come back when we get something that I like. Alright guys, so we're going to go long here. This is a relatively bullish bar. It's one tick off the highs of the day. We're going sideways. We just came off the upper end of the trend line. So if this fails, then I can't say that I didn't know why. But I don't know if we are going to actually come back down and touch this anytime soon, because this trend has been so strong, and just we haven't even touched the EMA. Last time we touched the EMA was at 10:09, so an hour and 3 minutes ago was the last time we touched the EMA. We've come close to it, but we just reject off of it each and every time, and this trend is relentless. So technically we're going to count this as a second entry, relatively bullish bar, and we're just going to see what happens, because I know people tried to pick tops and bottoms. Tried to pick tops right up here. People shorted right there, they shorted right there, and they shorted again right there. So hopefully we're going to trap them and we don't get trapped ourselves, and hopefully this thing will just pop and maybe we'll get an overshoot of our trend line, and I'll be able to end this video finally, because this has been going on for I don't even know how long. I think I started this at like 9 something. I don't remember the time, but I'm gonna pause this. Alright, so we're in right here. I'm just gonna tighten this stop to 1 tick, no, 2 ticks. We'll give it 2 ticks on a single contract. So our entry is 3 flat, and our exit is gonna be, our stop is gonna be 125. So that's 7 ticks of risk. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to pause this in the meantime, and I will come back as soon as we get some movement. So we'll be right back. Alright, so we closed on our high, really bullish bar, 2 bullish bars back to back. It's just the biggest concern is, will we make it through these highs of the day? And if we do make it through these highs, then we should definitely be good to the upside. But these are by far my least favorite trading days. To be honest, I really don't like these days at all. They scare me. They completely scare me. And fortunately, it's looking like we did what I was hoping that we would do. And if you're wondering why we got this big pop right here, it's because people sold up top. They tried to pick the top, and so they put their buy stops right up top there. So the momentum of hitting their buy stops causes this kind of fast-paced surge. and just push a little bit higher and fill my order so I can feel a bit better about everything that has occurred today. But yeah, I don't like these days. I just don't like them. I find it really hard to force myself to buy on really small pullbacks like this, or something that looks really sketchy like this. It's just scary to me, and we just go up and up and up and up, and I don't know when it's going to end. I'm not really a strong trend day kind of person. I don't particularly like that. I like trading where prices have already been. I like the range days where you can draw your short-term trend lines and everything is kind of on a road that's already been crossed. And these strong trend days where it's just like we're just going higher and higher, I don't like it. I don't like it. But that's a mental thing that I have to work through and get over, obviously. But it's looking like this was a pretty good trade, and we just got out of that. So finally, after about an hour and some change later, we were able to get another trade. So let me just put on the 2 trades that I did take today so that you guys can see them. We have this long right there, and then this long down there. And to be completely honest, I don't really like either one of these trades, but on a day like today, you won't get the most pretty setups, so you just have to take what you can get, and that's that. Fortunately, we were able to get out of that without trading through it. I don't know if we are going to trade through it, but we got out of it, so that's all that really matters. Entry was 03. We went up to 04. I'm pretty sure it'll break that eventually, but I'm not going to stick around and record this for when it does. But that's it. It's JR. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you sometime next week.